I want to share a story about myself. Now, this is a new level of humility that most people are probably not used to, but I know that in order to reach others, that I have to humble and lower myself enough to penetrate your heart. I need to be relatable, or maybe unrelatable, so you can really see the person I used to be. So here it goes. When I was younger, in my teens and early 20s, like most young people, I had completely lost my identity. I spent so much time trying to make the guy I was dating and my friend circle around me like me, more like love me. I took a lot of drugs that I really didn't want to do in the beginning, later to only become addicted. I couldn't even sleep most nights without it. I was also a comfort kind of girl, but I tried to be someone else, going along to music festivals, pretending to be a free-spirited hippie type. I would go out to bars and get drunk just to find something fun to do. I was chain smoking cigarettes outside with random people I had never met before, trying to find a sense of home or community. And maybe that sounds normal for you. Maybe this is kind of your life. But mine took a turn for the worst. I later went on to marry the guy I had been dating, and after some time, this lifestyle wasn't enough. It wasn't fulfilling. I felt like I was always looking for the next high because I was always high, and it was just not enough. So I moved on to finding validation through men who weren't even my husband. Granted, I was not in a good environment, and he certainly wasn't putting me in good environments, but it's not necessarily another person's fault for how you choose to live your life. I was wearing revealing outfits, hoping to get attention, posting seductive selfies, preaching new age and new thought ideas like I knew all the answers to life. Like I had found this liberating secret that I could be whoever I wanted and love whoever I wanted, and that I could manifest whatever I wanted, and life was essentially a playground for me to indulge at the expense of anyone and everyone. I started sleeping with 2 different men at the same time, one being my husband and another a boyfriend, and I could not see the beauty of marriage and God's design for one man and one woman giving their bodies to each other. That was all hogwash to me. I was a human being. I was a sexual being, and all the Bible thumpers were just trying to control me, and they were jealous. Some time had passed, and eventually I got a divorce. Open marriages and relationships will eventually destroy themselves. And I was lucky enough to remarry the true love of my life, and we had 2 beautiful babies together. Things were finally starting to calm down, and certainly motherhood will do that to you. stop the selfish train from rolling rampant. But there was just one problem. I was still lonely. I had lost all those fake friends, and for whatever reason, I still felt heartbroken about the loss. Aside from my family, I had no community. I just remember not feeling like I could connect to anyone or really trust anyone anymore. And that was the moment God finally broke me. It was the loneliness He used to get to me. This was my moment. I'm sitting in my bathroom and I say, okay, if you're real, please just show me. And He heard, and that is the weirdest and wildest thing that ever happened to me, because the next thing I know, a series of events happened, and spiritual warfare in the form of sleep paralysis changed my entire life and brought me to sorrow for the life that I had been living. It was finally so clear. I had so much clarity, and I could see the darkness for the very first time, and knowing that they were so angry with me for even just talking to God, pursuing God in some way. They were like, no, she is ours. And they were trying to hold me down and hold me back from loving and knowing God. And for whatever reason, God saw me fit to use for His kingdom. And if you are watching this video or you've made it this far, it is not a coincidence. And He wants to take you and use your darkness too and turn it to light. And loneliness may be the breaking point for you too. Maybe that's what drew you into this video. You know, you think you're living such a glamorous lifestyle, drinking, partying, lusting after people. But once you give your life to Jesus and eat at the Lord's feast, you really realize you were just eating absolute crumbs at the enemy's table. And here's a newsflash. You're not lonely because you need community or you need more friends. You're lonely because you have a God-sized hole in your heart that only He can fill. No one is going to love you more. No one is going to lay down their life for you, but Jesus did. That's why He said, it is finished. All the wicked things you ever did, that fine is paid in full. And all you have to do is believe that He did that for you and put your trust in Him like you would a parachute if you jumped out of a plane. Because after all, life is kind of like jumping out of an airplane. And with all of that humility said, I leave you with 1 Corinthians 15:42 through 43. It says, so also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown a perishable body. It is raised an imperishable body. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.